So tell us.
I passed!
Yay!
I feel so happy.
Did you guys hear that? She passed. And guess what? Who taught you how to drive?
You. Pretty much.
The husband. Let's prove it. Wow. Amazing. So,
Full G license.
I know. And we just want to show you guys how she passed this test. So you're yet to see an amazing video, but make sure you
like, share, and subscribe.
all right. And you're saying so we changed the
Yes.
so for right now the test only
It's
took
been-
about 10 minutes.
Yeah, so Ronald knows that because I was the one doing the test. It was apparently about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But they've changed the route. So we're here in Ontario, Canada, and the new mandate is to not have double things tested. So if you've done your D2 test, you would have already been tested on your 3-point turn, emergency stop, and also your parallel park. So that's why they've removed those. And now it's strictly highway driving. They want to see if you can maintain your speed, and then merging or from lane to lane and off a highway. That's what they test you on.
Okay. We also want to thank my in-laws,
Absolutely.
Matthew
right
and
now,
Karen. It's right now negative 30.
Yep.
Roughly negative 30 right now, and I was outside for like 10 minutes. I was freezing, and mind you, I'm a skier, so
like you were skiing.
I dressed up like I'm going to do skiing. I have my what's that called inside again?
Long john.
I have my long johns. I have the double clouds and everything, but I was frozen because the restaurant, there's a small restaurant I was able to use last time.
It was closed.
I couldn't go to that because it's closed. I was able to sneak into the bank little area, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's really awesome that they were with us. But having said all that, with the new driver here, who I'm so proud to say I trained her.
Yes, he did.
And by the way, this is a real testing moment when a wife or a husband or a partner has to train the other partner.
And you can trust them. Yeah.
It's really very testing as well, because you have to kind of teaching someone is not that easy. So but to be able to listen to each other, because she listened to what I had to say. The first time she didn't pass, she was just nervous, honestly. That was it, because I knew she knew everything, because we didn't change anything. We didn't spend any money to go to the for instructions and stuff like that.
Years ago, for my just to relearn I should say, because way back when I was 16, I did get my license, but long story short, it expired when I was in post-secondary school, and I didn't get back to it. So that was I did maybe 5 or 10 lessons when we were in Aurora.
Yeah, something like that. Cost us a lot of money, because each lesson was what, $100?
I think so.
Oh my god.
But
this time
around it was strictly just Ronald and I, and of course Liam, practicing. That's all we did.
Yeah. And again, we said you probably have seen it, or you're yet to see how the testing went, what things I was looking out for, having been a long time driver and so on.
Thankfully, there's also a lot of online resources. So you can, if you're doing this yourself and maybe you don't have a partner, or maybe you need your partner needs that little help aid. Drive Test, I think it's .ca. We'll find out the exact website. Has GPS routes for tests also uploaded, and there's also different videos you can watch, of course, on YouTube. That's all we did too.
But although right now you say they changed the route.
They changed, yes.
Right, because I guess because they've changed what you have to do, now they're using different routes.
Well, now that's mandated. They want to get through some of these backlogs that they have from all the shutdowns or lockdowns, and so the route changed slightly. Like they just cut off out maybe most of the city driving. It was get on the highway, get off the highway, get back on, and then there was another route to get here.
All right, so now this is my wife's YouTube channel, but if you want to check out mine as well, it's Cooking with Ronald. I mainly do cooking and DIYs, of course, and DIYs like this, teach my wife and other things, or her teaching me stuff. So hey, check us out. All right, give her a like, share, subscribe, and give her some that for she did an amazing job.
I have to say, I did a happy dance in the car.
She actually did a happy dance in the car after that. I wish I caught that.
But you know what? The reason I'm just so relieved because this is my last test for driving, right?
You go.
And now I don't have just renewing the license, the normal stuff. I needed to come to Service Ontario today because during the shutdowns, etc., my license had actually expired, but everything was extended. And now because I've officially passed the G test, I need to get a fresh new picture and everything else.
Okay, so this is our official test right here. So basically making sure you're maintaining your speed is very important, and also you're following the directions of what you're being told. Most of the stuff you need to keep in mind is maintaining your speed for sure, making sure that you're stopping behind the line, or if you don't see the line, you have to stop behind the stop sign. Make sure you can see it before you get to it. Once again, refer to other professional driving videos if you are unsure about some of this stuff. Okay, we're doing this right now in a winter season, and again, our driver is here, as you can see, Miss Vanessa. At this point in time, I'm the instructor. She can't talk to me. She has to just listen to what I have to say. Okay, so that she can actually pass her test. So it's important that as you approach where other cars are, you have to slow down a little bit. So right now we're going to join the highway.
Want me to turn?
Yeah. So we're going to turn her left, but as you can see, she stopped right behind the line. You can't see it properly right now because of the weather right now, because it's winter. But as you can see, you stop behind the line, but also you keep. So right now, once it turns green, you just have to proceed. So in this case, there's an arrow, we just move on. Okay, and as usual, maintaining your speed and also making sure you are in between your lane. Okay, now we're going to join going north, Perry Sound. But again, as you join, I'm sure you can see the caution sign right there. It says 30. So if you're a little bit above that because it's caution, that's okay, but you can't be too fast that they feel like you're tilting them, or they feel like you're going to tip your car. So typically, I've been telling my wife when you reach, say those little red, yellow signs, the last two, like right now, she starts to speed up to make sure she hits 100. Okay, 100, and then as she joins. So right now, all you have to do is to make sure you're maintaining your speed, but also it has to be a smooth move. So right now, we're going to try to join in and join out. So please do, because at this point they'll tell you to do your one lane change lane. In this case, she moves over smoothly, then you go back immediately.
Always look for blind spots.
Right. But also one thing we have to do it again. Make sure you're clear. Also, she's making sure she's looking around, checking to make sure everything's clear before she does, and again going back, making sure it's the same thing, safety first. And right now we're going to exit. So this is our exit right here, and we're going to get off right now. So right now she'll be slowing down to also come close to the caution speed. So if you see caution here is 30, so you kind of want to get close to that, because right now she's in 36 or 35, close to 40. That's not so bad. Once again, refer to the proper professionals. So we're going to take a right on this stop sign, Miss Vanessa. Again, you look both sides, and you look the other side, and you look again that side before you leave, and make sure it's clear. In this case, we have a truck coming that side, so she'll have to hold on, and once clear, you just engage. and then we're going to go back on the highway once again. So right now, if you're familiar with this area, that is 400 south to go back where we came from. Where you can join, and we join. Once again, when you're joining or when you are on the ramp and trying to join the highway, again the question is 30 here, but usually for us we've been counting, like say that those yellow little things you see. Once you see the second and speed up, then you always have to hit 100 before you get in. But right now this is a good actually thing to show you. If you're behind a truck, you may not hit 100, just like she has not hit 100 right now. That is okay,
because you're following the truck.
Exactly, because you're behind a truck. Do you have to pass that truck? Absolutely not. Maybe if they ask you to do it, but I don't think they'll ask you to do that. But right now we're doing lane changes again, so you change in and out smoothly, but also checking all blind spots. So you check there, and okay, just like that. Also, we're going to exit once again, but we're going to do one more line change quickly, Vanessa. Although we're almost there, I want to do a quick line change if it's safe, just like that, and then you go back again, but we're still behind the truck, which is okay. And just like that, that's a smooth transition in and out. You're doing lane change, merging from one to another, not turning. That means you're gonna overturn and someone feel like you are pouring them out. So in this case again, we have a truck behind us here, so you don't have to worry too much about speed, which is great if you are lucky enough to have the truck behind you, but sometimes you don't have it, and it's you who has to consider everything. Again, our caution sign here says 30, so make sure you close enough to that speed. If you're above by 5 or whatever, I don't think they're going to bother you. Once again, refer to the professional. The link we're leaving for you to make sure that you do the proper procedure. So right now, now we're going to go straight. We're going to show you a bit of parallel parking and also the 3-point turn, and also the emergence. By the way, if you're nearby here, this is Wabashin, and if you know where the new Tim Hortons is and the LCBO, the Timmy's is right there.
Yeah, that was built after we moved here.
Yeah, and then here you have the LCBO, and on the other side you have the gas station.
And a few other things that's been here for a very long time.
So right now we're going to do a 3-point turn. It's winter, you cannot see the line on there, so you have to stop behind the sign just like that. Make sure you can see it, and then once you do that, because we can't actually see where we're going right now, what Vanessa's gonna do is glide forward. So once she makes sure she can see there and she can see on the other side, then she can actually join the road. Whether you can't use your camera right now, just like you see that, you cannot look at your camera.
It's actually because I know from my first attempt, it's in the little spiel they have before you go on the road at all. It says, do not use your backup camera.
We're going to perform an emergency stop right now. So that simply means,
in an emergency stop, you are pulling over to the side of the road and you put your hazards on, which is 4 ways. It's all your lights. Yes, that includes putting your tires either to the right or the left. It depends if it's an uphill or a downhill.
Great, that was well said. So now, go ahead.
Okay, so we signal to the left. And you turn your whole vehicle to the left. Stop. 4 ways.
Then
park. Emergency brake. And then we're going to turn the steering wheel like that. Okay. That way, if you were to somehow lose control of the vehicle, it's going to go this way and hit the curb, as opposed to run away from you.
Okay, so now we're going to perform pyro packing. Okay, so as you can see, this sign says yield, so you make sure you yield to any traffic that may be coming in the intersection. So in this case, Vanessa is making sure no one is coming and it's clear always, and she decides to go.
Step 1 in the parallel park is to make sure that your back end's lined up, or if the vehicle is facing the opposite direction, as long as the front and your back line up, it's fine. The point of it is the lining up. And then you also want to make sure that there's safe enough distance between yourself and the other vehicle. Step 2 is to put your signal, and then you take the steering wheel and you do a full, see, I can't move it anymore. You have to fully turn your steering wheel. Make sure the car is in reverse. The next step before you do any movements, this is the center of your vehicle. This is the center of your vehicle. Look for this sort of a sensor. If you're sitting straight, your 90 is this. So you have to make sure before you've done any movement, you need to look to see what is find a landmark to find what this is in front of, and then the center, when you're doing your backing up, needs to be, and that is the time that you move. You back up until the center mark of your vehicle is in line with your 90 degrees where that landmark was. Then step 3 is to still be in reverse. Okay, a 1.5, and then you put your signal back on. This time you back up until the mirror lines up with the lights, or regardless of whether it's the front or the back, it just has to line up with your vision to the lights of the vehicle that you're trying to parallel park with.
Okay, so to recap, make sure that your side mirror here is covering partly that right there.
The next and final step is to completely turn your wheel. Again, you cannot move this wheel anymore, to the opposite side. Once again, still keeping, because you're still going in the same direction, the signal light on to the left. At that point, when you're going backwards or reversing, you'll see that you're lining up with the vehicle in front of you. I hope that's clear enough. I know I personally struggled with the parallel park myself, and there are plenty of videos that really tell you concisely how to do this.
Yeah, but there's one video we found. It was a lady who was doing it. We can probably look up that link, see if we can find it for you.
Yeah,
she's the really one helpful. Yeah, she's the one who told us about the 90. The middle of your car is where the 90 is. Make sure that 90 points where you want it to be, and you should be perfect every single time.
Because for me, from my experience, I struggled with the whole finding the center, like how far am I supposed to be going over?
Yeah.
That was my struggle. And then afterwards, everything else sort of lined up clearly once I found that. And it's just about practice too. As much as practice is not fun, unless maybe you love driving. That's a different personality than me though. I don't hate driving, and I'm excited to have my license, of course, but it's not like I want to be driving all the time. That's not me. Nevertheless, practice is very important.
I hope this definitely helps you. Just like my wife just said, you can definitely save money this way if you teach your partner.
If you have like a father, or depending on your age, a cousin, anybody who you know is a good driver. They can always teach you too.
Yeah, so in this case,
you don't have to go the route of an instructor and pay the money. But if you want to, you can also do that too. Everyone has their own way.
Yeah. So again, this one for us was saving us money because, as we said, it could be your partner, teach your partner, or teach your family member in one way or another to get this done.
So one thing I want to say is, if you're older, and I mean anything over 20, because typically, at least in Canada, people like 16 to 19, they get their license and they're done. But if you're older, don't let that hold you back. Anybody can learn how to drive. It just takes time and patience.
Yeah.
Even if you're short on patience, you still need to have patience.
Yeah.
And if it's not your friend or family member or partner who's teaching you, try and invest in an instructor. They obviously know what they're talking about, and they can get you to where you need to be in terms of the driving. And of course, there's an expense that comes to driving, but plan ahead for that if that's something that you want to have. Because just for reference, I'm 33. Like I said, some backstory: I got my license when I was 16, the day of my 16th birthday. And I went to college and then university. During that time, my license expired, and my focus was somewhere else. It was getting all my education.
Right.
So, and that's just how my story went. And then years later, with a big nudge from Ronald, I went ahead and rewrote my test. And I started that process then. And of course, some things have been delayed with COVID. So that's why I'm finally getting to my G test today.
Yeah.
This is sort of a one-off in my channel, but it's definitely worth looking into, and also seeing all my other content as well.